This next video, actual footage, a nursing home staffer taking advantage of a 100-year-old dementia patient.
I can show you new things. I can show you new things. Tell if you want. I'm a girl. You know what that means. You gonna buy me some?
Difficult to watch that footage. It allegedly shows this employee pulling down pants, mooning the resident. She was charged with gross sexual imposition, which is a felony according to jail records. Sadly, this probably occurs more commonly than we want to acknowledge.
Right. Well, I mean, 3 million people have dementia in the United States, and that's just dementia. When you're elderly and the very young, right, these populations are largely dependent on others, and they are poor communicators sometimes. So it makes it easy to target them for abuse and mistreatment. That video is so disturbing.
I mean, and she was communicating with the gentleman, and it's, you know, it's so difficult, and she was so wrong in that context, but she's probably thinking, oh, he's not gonna remember this, or, you know, maybe I can get a response. I mean, so disturbing, and, you know, maybe she didn't think that he would remember until that last statement, like, so what are you gonna
Well, but that doesn't matter. This concept of sexual elder abuse is again, more common than we think, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of times what can happen in a poorly run nursing home where there isn't great oversight is people do feel like they can get away with it. If this weren't videotaped, no one would ever know. And I think it raises a lot of concerns, and I think it also does highlight with dementia how easy it is, Doc, to take advantage of someone. And look, this is a nursing home patient, but it doesn't have to be a nursing home patient. And these patients with dementia can be taken advantage of. I mentioned stealing money. Mm-hmm. And so obviously
teased or made fun of for whatever reason, thinking that they're not aware, they're not going to remember, the family's not going to know.
They're easy targets.
Their own
Such
family
easy
members
targets.
get wills changed. You know, I mean, they can be abused by the people who are supposed to protect and love them. So
it's usually the people that are entrusted to them that are the abusers, the people that are closest to them, that spend the most time with them. It's a very unfortunate case, and a lot of people don't know that we even have adult protective services if you see something like this. Everyone's more familiar with child protective services, and we always look out for those types of abuse. But elderly abuse is very common and very much underreported.
I think the whole point of this segment is to highlight for people out there, we all have to recognize the signs, the symptoms of dementia, because again, usually the patient themselves will not necessarily know. The earlier you can get a diagnosis, the earlier you can put a plan in place. Really quickly before we go, sadly, dementia is still, in terms of treatment, we have a long way to go.
A long way to go.
And I know as a neurologist, it's something that's near and dear to your heart.
are there any medications that can stave off the natural progression of dementia? Are there trials out there?
There are several trials. We have about 10 clinical trials right now in our own clinics at USC, but there are some medications that slow the disease, but nothing that's a blockbuster per se.
We know aging and family history are things you can't control that can lead to dementia. Is there anything under your control? Like we mentioned, avoiding alcoholism, but like a Mediterranean diet, I've read.
People talk about Mediterranean diet. Probably the most important things are to stay physically and mentally fit. You know, later retirement delays the onsets. Staying physically fit, exercising, they're all good.
Using your brain.
Using your brain, exactly. Use your brain.
Those crossword puzzles are getting harder every day, but I'm sticking with it.
Well, and we did share that disturbing footage from the nursing home. The Commons of Providence did release a statement saying, we are cooperating with local police who are handling the investigation, and we will not comment further about the ongoing investigation. We will have more resources about dementia on our website, and if you or anyone you know is the victim of elder abuse, please seek help. Those resources on our website.